Yes, these women are parasocial. Yes, we don't call women enough, right? But also, they see themselves in Megan Thee Stallion. They relate to her lack of morality. They relate to just how open she was on the internet with her sexual partners. They relate to not taking any accountability and not trying to... Megan Thee Stallion was 31 years old, still posting twerk videos in her underwear where you could see the print of her vagina in said video. And they believe... See, it would be different if these were women who didn't project the same double standards or patriarchy that they hate upon men onto men. These are the women who will judge you for having feelings. They will judge you for not making enough money. They project every single double standard that relates to men onto men. But when you project the double standards that belong to women on them, they attack your morality and say that you're not a good person. But it's not like they won't attack your sexuality for having an opinion and not being a man that just goes to work, pays all her bills, and dies. They will attack your manhood for not paying all of their bills. These are women who literally enable and participate in the patriarchy. But they only participate in the patriarchy that benefits them. They don't give a fuck about the patriarchy that harms the men. So this is why you get this almost violent response from the men, because it's like, hey, y'all not women that, are benevolent. Y'all are not women who give men grace. So why do we have to give you grace when it comes to the double standards that affect you? Megan Thee Stallion was immorally loose. She was very sexually upfront. She presents herself almost like a sex worker. But she wants the respect of a woman who preserves her self-respect. And, it just doesn't work that way in this type of idealism, this type of society. So you got men who are so confused because it's like, wait a minute, these women will attack your sexuality for simply not wanting to pay a woman's bills, but they think that they can sleep around with any type of a million of men and get the same respect of a woman who actually has sexual morality. And that's where the two opinions differ. And you get a clashing of, societal norms.
We didn't know Klay Thompson before Meg Thee Stallion. We didn't know Stefan Diggs before Cardi B. And while these guys have more money than these girls have social and global influence. Meg Thee Stallion made Klay a global star, whether he wants to admit or not. These men like to use these women for come-ups and for social status because, don't ever get it twisted, girls. Social currency is still a currency. If you are well known in your circle and you are well respected, a guy can use that for social come-up because being with you makes him look good. If Meg Thee Stallion is dating him, he must be popping. He must be giving guys. You need to be very, very careful because guys are users just like girls. I would even say more. A guy knows when he has a woman that he can use to make himself look better. And I think sometimes the insecurity that we have in ourselves do not allow us to see what we are actually worth, what our currency is. But a man can see it. A man can see your value economically before you. And it does not even need to be money. It's status, it's reputation. When you're around his friends, how does you standing next to him make him feel and look? But because a lot of us are insecure, a lot of us don't see ourselves the way the outside sees us. That's why a guy can pick you and you could be like, oh my God, he picked me. He's a money man. He's this. No, he picked you because you have status, because you have social currency, and because you're that.
Yo, I'm glad that video cut off prematurely because I was so tired of her fucking thick ass accent. Bubblehead. These British Africans get on my fucking nerve, right? I don't know if they just start letting these motherfuckers read last year ago, but they're not too intelligent, right? They're not the brightest bulb in the damn house. Now, I'm gonna break down why I said what I said, right? Aside from the fact that she's a basic bitch and really doesn't know about current affairs. She said that if we didn't know, if Klay Thompson didn't date Meg Thee Stallion, we wouldn't know who he was. If Stefan Diggs didn't date Cardi B, we wouldn't know who he was. Let me just put this out in the air. Everybody with a half-working brain know who Klay Thompson is. Maybe because you don't watch sports, you don't know. That's a you thing, not a us thing or the world thing. He's gotten 4 championships before Meg Thee Stallion was really a household name. Also, I mean, if you watch sports, most men do, so we know who the fuck he was. And even gold diggers knew who the fuck Klay Thompson is. You are a basic bitch that probably can't get nothing but a Reggie ass nigga, so of course you don't know. Now I applaud you for not being a gold digger, but most gold diggers knew who Klay Thompson was because he's an NBA baller, right? And they don't go after the obscure niggas on the bench. They go for the well-known ones. He is one. Just say you don't know sports. Now, Stefan Diggs is a little bit more of a conundrum because he actually is a relatively new player in the NFL. To my knowledge, he doesn't have a Super Bowl ring, so that could possibly be true in his case. Even though as a social status, even though Cardi B is a millionaire, she don't got as much money as him. And even though she's an entertainer, as a woman, she's a single mom. I don't know who the fuck is vibing for bitches that got 3 kids. I wouldn't be. And on top of all that, single moms also alert us that you like dick. So he was there to bust a nut. She talks about if Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B wasn't who they were, they wouldn't be there. Ma'am, most of us men think with our dick. If you look half as good as they do and you don't, yeah, we try and bust one. I'm gonna just keep it 100. They had millions of dollars. They're in the league. They got access to an entertainer. Yeah, I'm trying to let a raggedy one off. You sound crazy as cat shit. Now back to her point. Men use women for social standing and status. That's actually not true. Which is the reason why Oprah Winfrey has been single for the last 39 years. Name one nigga that's lining up for that. And before you say Stedman, we haven't seen that nigga in a picture with her since 1995. So that doesn't check out. We got more pictures in the past present of her and Gail. Truth be told, she might be a lesbian, but I digress. You also use Cher, but then we know that she's worth $195 million, and AE is only there. I think that's his name, AE or EA, some shit. The producer nigga is only there to get that money, and she's a white woman. He trying to get left in the wheel. Now, I don't think he's there for her status because he is a music producer. Now, I don't know what he's produced, nor do I give a fuck. What I do know is he has status and notoriety on his own, being by he had access to Cher. So even that doesn't check out. And not only that, you're telling women that are not famous, that are not multimillionaires and not entertainers about men using them for their status. It's not a lot of niggas using regular bitches that are not famous for their status. What the fuck are you talking about? Not only that, let's go back to Stephon Diggs and Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson got 4 championships. He don't need to use Meg Thee Stallion, dusty hood rat ass for status. Same thing with Cardi B. While she is famous and while she is beautiful, he got money in the league. That right there is enough status, and he has more money by your own account. He has more money than she does. Right there by your own account, he has more status than she does. I don't know what women think status is. It's like they think it's fame. His status is more than that. If Stephon Diggs walks in the bank and puts in a deposit, off his deposit alone, his status is ultimately changing the perception of the people in the bank. Right there. Cardi B has the perception of status, but we don't actually know how much money she has. Just like her broke ass baby daddy, she could be broke or living on loans. Stephon Diggs, for the most part, we know the NFL wrote that motherfucking 7 or 8 figure check. Same thing with Klay Thompson. He got 4 rings. He got the check. We know he got the money. He got the money, the gold, and not only that, if I'm not mistaken, he was on the Olympic USA basketball team. So what the fuck are we talking about here? Like, if he's not known, I don't know what that is, because he's internationally known in the Olympics alone. Now, that all it does is further add to his notoriety and fame in the States with the fucking team that he's in the NBA. So this is why they shouldn't let everybody have microphones and be podcasters, especially these dumb nuts over in the UK and parts of Africa and the Caribbean. Because, like, bro, you come from a place, maybe you wasn't born there, but your parents come from a place where they barely just learn how to read, and you niggas are barely getting accustomed to hot running water. I go focus on that shit before you start focusing on like world issues or American issues. Like, one, people are saying what they're saying about Meg Thee Stallion because she's a thought. Off of my count, she's dated at least 4 niggas that was famous, including Tory Lanez. That's not a good track record, man. You don't collect a whole bunch of bodies. Nobody want to stay around you goofy ass, and then we supposed to feel sorry for you. No, we just gonna call it what it is. She's a slur. Nobody feels sorry for slurs. You put yourself out there, you date multiple dudes. Now, I don't know why niggas don't stick around. Maybe the coochie is wet. Maybe it stink. Maybe it's whack. Maybe she has a big mouth. Maybe she don't know how to be quiet. I don't know what the case is. What I do know is niggas don't stick around. Now, it could be because they just want to crack because she a slur. But then the reputation of having some WAP didn't help it out. So your whole argument's a moot case. In any event, and I wasn't even going to talk about this, but I seen this bubblehead this morning, so I figured, like, let me get on it because why not? In any event, if y'all like this episode, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm out.
No one's ready to deal with us.
Oh, also, I don't mean to shit on UK people, podcasters, but y'all really need to shut the hell up, because the critical thinking skills and reasoning and deduction just isn't there. Now I'm out.
No